On what seemed to be the only clear, sunny day the southern Oregon coast had seen for weeks, transmission towers were being expertly guided through the air by helicopter to their new locations in the final phase of the Coos-Curry Electric Cooperative transmission line upgrade project. But the work had actually started decades ago. The Cooperative owns approximately 30 miles of transmission line, starting in Gold Beach and ending in Brookings Harbor, just north of the California border. 2/3 of the upgrade, from Gold Beach to the Thomas Creek area, is complete. Work on the final phase, from the Thomas Creek area to Brookings Harbor, began in 2008. The final section is approximately 10 miles, 9.4 miles through rugged Curry County terrain, and 0.6 miles inside the Brookings city limits. The line is over 50 years old, and many of the wood poles, cross arms, and hardware are from the original construction. Over 20% of the spans in this section have violations according to clearance and height requirements of the National Electric Safety Code. The 83 new steel pole structures, with an average height of 95 to 100 feet, comply with clearance and height requirements. To minimize the overall footprint of the transmission line, a separate 2-mile section of the line that branched off near Thomas Creek and served the North Brookings substation was rerouted and merged into the 10-mile section of upgrade. Existing easements and access roads were used to the extent possible, and tree removal was minimized to further reduce the transmission line footprint on the landscape. In 2009, work began to dig and pour the concrete foundation pads. At the same time, the towers were being fabricated. Even though the southern Oregon coast experienced one of the worst winters on record, with high winds and pounding rain, contract crews were able to complete the concrete work on schedule. And in early 2010, the new steel towers and cross arms started arriving by truckloads to be stored at a Brookings location, where the contractor assembled them on the ground. The contractor, Probst Electric, decided that due to the challenging terrain, 53 of the towers would be set in place by helicopter. They contracted with Erickson Air Crane out of Central Point, Oregon. An average of 5 towers per hour could be set by helicopter, which was expected to save considerable time and money. Each tower was marked with a specific number according to its location in the engineering design. Each foundation had a corresponding number. The towers were set in place, not in sequence, but according to a well-orchestrated plan that considered the terrain, fuel requirements, and mobilization of ground crews. The 2-person crew aboard the Erickson Air Crane F-64 helicopter and ground crews were in constant radio contact.
4-1 Alpha is in the middle of the lower yard, Max. Roger that.
At the storage yard, the helicopter hovered over each tower as ground crews attached the cables.
There you go. Okay, I'll give you attention. Okay, start lifting. Looks good here. It's all yours. Okay, coming up.
Then, the helicopter crew took control, lifting the tower out of the storage area to begin the journey to the matching foundation location.
One on the hook, coming at you.
At the site, the helicopter crew masterfully lowered the tower onto the foundation.
Oh, some elevation.
About 150 off the main. Coming into 100. 70. 50. 40. 30. 20. 15. Coming into 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3 feet, 2 feet off the guides. 1 inches below the guides. You come up 1. You're good. Okay, you're inside that guide. You come up 2 feet. Okay, you're inside the guide. Come up. And 1 foot. Okay, we're below the guide on the ground here. Okay, you're even with the guides. On top of the guides. You're about even now, Max. Okay, you're on the bullets. Alright, won't you give us a weight, please?
Alright, coming down. There, you got the weight.
Alright, we're good. Slacker and cut her loose.
Okay.
Alright, you're clear.
The cables were released and the helicopter headed back to the storage area to get the next tower.
Hey, we're ready for 7 there.
Okay. We'll go get some fuel and then we'll be right back with it.
The day was set, June 3rd, but the weather would not cooperate, and after only 4 towers being set, the work was called off. 4 days later, the helicopter and ground crews were able to set 41 towers. Then they were grounded once again due to weather. Finally, the cloud cover lifted, rain and wind subsided, and on June 10th, the final towers were set in place, including an additional 4 towers. Ground crews will use a crane to set the remaining towers, and then the final stage of stringing wire begins. The entire project is expected to be completed by September 2010, on schedule and under budget. Our goal is to provide a reliable power supply that meets the needs of the members we serve, and to do so with concern for the beautiful environment that surrounds us and in which we live. Once complete, the upgraded line will provide a loop feed system designed to provide the highest degree of reliability and safety for the next 50 years.